Yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn show, man. Today is January the 19th, and there is a ton of NBA action on the board for today. Before we jump into yesterday, we always talk about, the day before. And I ended up, staying off of everything again yesterday. And I'm glad I did. I would have got absolutely obliterated yesterday. Weekends, for whatever reason, just like, it is so janky, man. And it's always like a lot of caution in betting specifically on sides and totals in the NBA on Sundays, on the weekend in general. And I'm glad I stayed off yesterday. Um, so nothing official for me yesterday. I hope you guys were able to find some ways to make some money. I did not do so. I think the only thing I talked about yesterday that would have been a winner was Paolo under his points. Going back to that look, I thought Orlando had a chance yesterday. They got absolutely obliterated. Houston couldn't score the basketball against New Orleans. So yeah, it was not great yesterday as far as the look that we talked about. Charlotte was scoring the basketball well, but Denver didn't come to the party, so that team total would have stayed under as well. Like I said, hopefully you guys were able to find some ways to make some money. Let's go through the comments real quick. Good morning, Prince. He says, "What up, Chris? Happy MLK Day. Let's get it." Absolutely, happy MLK Day, man. Tommy says, "What's up, D-Gens? Let's get paid." Morning, Chris. Trying to cook the books today. We right there together. We together for sure. Got some looks that he throwing in the chat as well. What's up, Mid-Range Bully? Says, "What's the word? Let's get this bread." What up, Free Sauce? Good morning, Prolific. Barry says, "Number 7 on the likes." Good morning, everyone. What's up, Chris? What's up, Barry? Hope all is well, bro. Good morning, Fahrenheit. Appreciate you for tapping in. Reminding people to hit the like button, comment, subscribe, share, sub, get some merch, all that good stuff. Appreciate that. Good morning, Felicia. Appreciate you for tapping in as well. 77 Figure says, "Great." What did that comment say? Great morning, Denver Soul. Shaking my head, bounce back today. Loading. Let's get into it, man. So yesterday I gave you guys 2 looks from JaXon as well, and they both were losers. I'm pretty sure. Let me go back and check it real quick. I think JaXon like Houston, which I thought Houston was live to win that game and cover the spread as well, and they could not do so. The other one was, I know one of them was Houston. I forgot to write it down. Let's see real quick. Oh, Brooklyn and Chicago under the 224. And Brooklyn doesn't play any defense yesterday. Chicago gets whatever it is that they want. Both of those are losing bets yesterday. So Houston minus the 12.5, and Brooklyn and Chicago under the 224.5 was a loser. So 0-2 day yesterday by JaXon, and today 18, 119. Okay. I just try to write these down to keep up with them. JaXon had actually went 4-0 before those two. Today, I switched it up a little bit. I asked JaXon a different prompt, just trying to go a little bit deeper into the metrics. So the first one I asked JaXon a couple of different prompts today. I said the first one I thought about was trying to be a little bit more complex with the prompts, right? So the prompt here is using NBA.com advanced stats during the last 5 games exclusively. Define betting value as a mismatch between the betting lines and the underlying efficiency, pace, and matchup metrics that is not reflected in the market. Use this data to give me the 2 top total bets, ranking them in order of confidence. So the first one is actually on the OKC Thunder and the Cleveland Cavaliers under the 235. It says this is the top bet on the board, because the top total bet on the board today, because the market is currently overvaluing the offensive potential of both squads given their recent defensive form and key absences. So over the last 10 games, OKC ranks number 1 in the NBA in defensive rating of 105.4, while Cleveland ranks number 9th. The Thunder have been elite at forcing mistakes, ranking number 1 in ranking first in turnover percentage allowed at 17.8, which consistently disrupt the offensive rhythm of their opponents. The Thunder will be without Jalen Williams and Isaiah Hartenstein today, which significantly hinders their offensive ceiling. While Shai Gilgeous-Alexander remains an MVP-level force, the team has gone under the total in 7 of their last 10 games. Cleveland is also missing Darius Garland. Interestingly, the Cavs are 5.8 points per 100 possessions better on defense with Garland off the floor, 112.5, than when he's on the floor, 119.6. With both teams performing at an elite defensive level over their recent stretch, this game is statistically primed for a lower scoring, methodical battle. Recent performances in news synopsis says that OKC is coming off a rare loss to Miami, where they struggled to maintain their usual offensive efficiency without their full rotation. Cleveland has had the advantage of rest, not having played since last Friday, while OKC's playing a high intensity game in Miami on Saturday night. The rest and travel advantage for Cleveland typically leads to a more disciplined defensive effort. The Thunder's offensive rating has dipped to 10th in the league over their last 10 games, further supporting the case for the under. So JaXon likes the under in his first game. And then I used that same prompt and I just flipped it and asked JaXon for the best two spread bets and to rate those with confidence as well. And JaXon likes the Los Angeles Clippers minus the 6.5. So it says the Clippers enter this matchup as one of the hottest teams in the league, currently riding a 5-game winning streak. During that stretch, the Clippers have leaned in on their all-NBA level play of Kawhi Leonard and James Harden to stabilize the offense that ranks 12th in efficiency. The betting value here lies in the Wizards' complete lack of defensive resistance. Washington ranks 29th in defensive rating at 120.9 and 30th in net rating at minus 11.2. Washington's statistical profile is historically poor. They rank 30th in point differential at a minus 11.6, and they're dead last in defensive rebounding percentage at 66.7. The Clippers' methodical half-court attack, 10th in half-court points per 100 plays, is perfectly suited to exploit Washington's defense that allows the 26 most points per 100 half-court plays, 101.3. Furthermore, the Wizards are keeping the newly acquired Trae Young out of the lineup, leaving them without a primary engine to keep pace with the Clippers' star power. And then there's some recent performance as well. The Clippers have successfully bounced back after a poor start and are now firmly in play-in territory. News report highlights that while the Clippers lack depth beyond their stars, Leonard and Harden are playing at a level that masks those deficiencies against bottom-tier teams. The Wizards, conversely, have suffered through multiple losses recently, and their minus 11.2 differential is the worst in the NBA. The Clippers' ability to protect the rim, second in rim effective field goal percentage allowed, will neutralize the Wizards' offense that relies on transition points, 10th in frequency, to stay competitive. So something to note is that Kawhi is out in that game, but those are the two looks for JaXon. JaXon likes that Cleveland and OKC game under, and then this I think the Clippers have moved to 7-point favorites, but it might be a 6.5 still out there. It's what JaXon likes today. Let's jump into it, man. Let's get into it. I actually like that under look a lot. I didn't bet it, but I do like that look a lot. So we'll start in Atlanta. The Bucks are getting 2.5 points here. Total open looks like 230. It's up to 231.5. Spread open. I saw 1.5 yesterday on DraftKings in favor of the Atlanta Hawks, and it looks like it's been pushed to 2.5 now. So we start with the injury report, of course, as we always do, and it kind of kept me off the game. I told you, for people who watched the show yesterday, I told you guys I kind of like Atlanta in the bounce back spot. But the Bucks will be fully healthy outside of Taurean Prince, and then Atlanta will be without Porzingis and Zachary Reese-Shea. Dyson Daniels is also listed as questionable. So no Dyson Daniels, and I'm completely off Atlanta. If he plays, I do kind of like Atlanta in this spot a little bit. I would love for Atlanta to have Zachary Reese-Shea. I thought that he could potentially return, but without him being out there, without Porzingis and Dyson Daniels also, potentially not playing in this game, it makes it difficult for me to want to lay points with Atlanta. Both of these teams have been absolutely atrocious recently. Milwaukee has lost 3 straight. They failed to cover all 3. 5 of their last 6 games they played have been on the road. So, they may have a little bit, bitter taste in their mouth after a couple straight losses. But Atlanta has also done the same thing. 3 straight losses for them, 3 straight non-covers. 7 of their last 10 games have been played on the road. They were coming home in that last game against Boston, got absolutely annihilated in that game. That was a game where they were supposed to lose. First game back home after a long road trip. And they had won the last game as well against the Denver Nuggets before playing them on Saturday. So I looked into it a little bit. Last 5 games, Atlanta has been the better offensive team, defensive team. They've also been the better 3-point shooting team, and they've been the better rebounding team. So I kind of lean them. I think Atlanta does win the game. It's difficult, though. It is difficult. Jalen Johnson, I looked into, a lot of he is the engine on the team now that, they've given him the keys without Trae Young being there. He's been a shell of himself as of late. I don't think he's scored 20 points in any of the last 3 games. Just really kind of going through a slump. I would expect them to be able to bounce back here a little bit. The Bucks are a team that has recently really, really struggled to guard the 3-point line. I think Atlanta should be able to knock down some threes. I looked into Nickeil Alexander-Walker over his 3-point prop, but the number was a little bit too juiced. He's been the guy that's been shooting it the best from the 3-point line for Atlanta. I looked at his points prop as well, thinking that he could be able to score the basketball. Atlanta needs some scoring out there. So those were like kind of my thought processes. I actually like here's the thing. The Bucks have been playing like really, really poor defense, and Atlanta's defense hasn't been necessarily that great, but both of these teams offensively have really, really struggled. So I kind of wanted to play under 231.5. It is a 1:00 start time game. We know historically that these matinee games do typically go under the total. And with both teams, playing pretty poorly, pretty bad defensive efforts from both teams as of late as well, think we see a little bit better defense. The problem is the Bucks' 3-point defense is so bad. So that's why I think Atlanta can win the game. I would love for Dyson Daniels to be in though, so he could guard Kevin Porter. And then, Atlanta got to build some kind of a wall to be able to slow down Giannis. So that's my thought process. I ended up staying off of the game. I also considered the other player prop outside of Nickeil Alexander-Walker that I considered was Bobby Portis. I think his points prop is 11.5. He's gone over that number recently a ton. And Atlanta, if you know anything about them, they give up a lot of points in the paint. So kind of, I guess I say all that to say I kind of lean Bobby Portis over his points. I kind of lean under. And I kind of lean Atlanta, but I didn't really get there with anything in this game. I do want to show you guys just real quick, just so you can see it from my perspective. I want to show you guys the look on Bobby Portis. So, because he was the one player prop that, in my opinion, kind of made the most sense in this game. So if we look at Bobby Portis, let's see real quick. The minutes have been there. You can see his points at 11.5. He's over in 7 of his last 10 games. Minutes have been pretty consistent as well. He's averaging right about 22.5 over his last 10 games. A couple of these games were blowout. Like this was a 18-point loss, so he only played 20 minutes here. But yeah, I just look at how Atlanta gives up points, and they typically give it up. They give up points specifically in the paint. Bobby Portis gets a ton of his points, of course, in the painted area, and I think that 12 points is doable. I also looked at games with Giannis in. His points do go down just a tad bit, but I don't know. I kind of feel like they'll need him in this game. So last 10 games with Giannis in, you can see that he's still over in 7 of the last 10, averaging 14.2. Yeah, he's the one that's on my short list for this game. Bobby Portis over his points prop in this. And this is outlier, of course. Link is in the description as it always is if you guys are interested in checking it out. So that's my thought process on the first game. I said all that to say I didn't bet anything, but if Dyson Daniels is in, man, I kind of want to take Atlanta. Not gonna lie to you guys. I kind of want Atlanta. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. Trying to go back up to the top and talked a lot. What up, dude? Appreciate you for tapping in. This is MLK Day. Let's get this bread. Prolific says we need new merch. Oh man, I don't really feel like producing new merch, but I do appreciate that. I still got some merch. I got a little bit of merch left. Ronald says money making Mondays. Get on these early games so I can check out the national championship game tonight. Good morning, Frankie. Appreciate you for tapping in. Prolific says even JaXon can't keep up with the jankiness. It's a lot of jankiness for sure. Tommy says I like JaXon's style today. He says all over the under 234 in that game. On top of it being a matinee, I like it. I like it. Frankie says a few things I like in the first game. Onyeka Okongwu under his points. It's down to 16.5. I like Nickeil Alexander-Walker to get 20. I looked at that as hard, like really hard this morning. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, him and Bobby Portis. It's not showing a side or a total. In a decent spot for CJ threes. Somebody gonna hit the threes today. Good morning, PZ. Appreciate you for tapping in. What else should I say on this game? Tommy says Bucks gonna try and slow the pace down. Hawks won't be able to speed up the pace with no Zach and Dyson being questionable, as well as the early game teams be half sleep in these spots. The problem is Atlanta plays so fast and the Bucks defense has been so bad. Silver says he thinks the Bucks score. Malik says my Bears. Oh man, yeah, it was tough. It was tough last night. I did get a chance to watch that. What's up, J-Man? Appreciate you for tapping in. 77 Figure says I like the Bucks plus the 2.5. Hawks can't stop a nosebleed. I just want to run and gun. Jared Jackson, Jalen Johnson under 7.5 assists. What's up, Jay? Says hope all is well with everyone. Miles Turner to get 2 assists. He has crazy value on this line. Plus 157 for 2 assists. Okay. Good morning, Rick. Says Chris that Charlotte was a game on both teams to go under. Yeah, I mean, if Denver plays any kind of offense, then Charlotte scores more than 23 points in the fourth quarter. And Denver just couldn't show up. And that's what I said, man. Like, Charlotte, you just never know what you're going to get. They look like a top 5 defense yesterday after giving up 140 against the Lakers the other day. Just don't know what you're going to get from them, man. Let's see. Jalen to get his points. His points probably is down a little bit lower now. I just kind of think that not that he can't get his threes. It's just I think it's a better matchup for some of the guards for Atlanta that shoots the 3-point shot. It's my personal opinion. All right, next game up, OKC and Cleveland. I did bet this one. So we look at the injury report. Of course, we know that OKC is going to be without Isaiah Hartenstein, continuing to be without him. But Jalen Williams is also out now. Like the guard, the forward Jalen Williams, the small, dark-skinned forward Jalen Williams, J-Dub, he's out in this game. And then Sam Merrill on the Cleveland side of things is going to be out to go along with Darius Garland, who got hurt in that first game against the 76ers the other day. And Dean Wade is listed as probable, and no Max Strus, of course. So for OKC, it is the third straight road game. They're coming off a loss to Miami. Might be a little bit motivated to bounce back in the spot. And that was after, back-to-back covers against Houston and San Antonio. But before that, they had actually failed to cover 5 games in a row. Cleveland, back-to-back wins versus the Philadelphia 76ers, impressive wins. They took my money in that last one. And they have a one-day rest advantage because they played on Friday and OKC played on Saturday. So I kind of just went through the numbers this morning. The Cavs are shooting the ball a lot better than OKC is right now from the 3-point line. When I pulled this up, Cleveland was OKC was like a bottom 10 3-point shooting team. And not that Cleveland is really good defending the 3-point line. We know that they can absolutely get burnt, against the 3-point shot. But they are kind of like what JaXon was saying. I think Tommy mentioned it in the comments as well. They are guarding the 3-point shot a little bit better as of late and playing a little bit of defense in general. Like Cleveland, going on the road, being able to hold Philly offense, down and outscore them in that spot. I kind of like Cleveland in this game. I did bet them. I took them plus the 6. I think we got 6.5. There is still a 6.5 out there right now. I don't know if I got a 6 or a 6.5. I got one or the other and sent it out to the members, whatever I bet. Just kind of looking through way too many numbers this morning. I can tell you guys what I got, though. I think it might have been a 6. I thought I had 6.5, though. Let me just double check. I got a 6. I got 6 on Caesars. So, I just, a couple other things outside of that. I think OKC just, when they're short road favorites, and when I say short, I mean not laying double digits on the road. They're just 3-6 against the number this season when their road favorites land. And I just kind of feel like the loss to J-Dub, Cleveland, I feel like they got a little bit more to prove than OKC does as well. Not that OKC won't be motivated off a loss. I think Cleveland will be able to keep it within, 7 points at home. They can keep it respectable here, not get absolutely blown out in this game, at home. So yeah, I did bet Cleveland. I'm on Cleveland in this spot. Let's see what you guys are thinking. Call Me Aries says over on Donovan Mitchell threes. They have a good defense, but they can't guard the 3-point line. That was another thing I looked at. Of course, we know Cleveland want to shoot a ton of threes as well. And they're falling. They got a chance to win this game outright. That's a fact. Los on the opposite side of me. OKC -6. Thunder Buddies for life. Okay. Rick says he took Cleveland as well. This is payback. Remind me of Devo. Payback. LJ says Cleveland ATS record not good coming home after a road game to my recent knowledge. Yeah, you know what? LJ, I thought the same thing with Cleveland coming off a win in that last game as well. So I looked at the Cleveland Cavaliers. If I remember it correctly, on Friday when I made that video, I told you guys that Cleveland was 6-15 when they were coming off a game where they previously won. It was 7-15. So now they're 8-15 coming off a win. So yeah, they haven't been good. There's tons of reasons to like the Thunder in this game. Cavs at home are not profitable. Cavs the least profitable team in the NBA this season. LJ just mentioned them coming off a road loss. I don't care about none of them trends. Trends don't mean everything. If everything was trendy, it'd be real easy to bet. I'll give you guys the best trend in the league in a couple games as well. When we get into some of the other looks, I'll give you guys the best trend if you just want to take a trend bet. But I don't care about all that. Today I'm on Cleveland. Miss Midrange says, what do you think about Donovan Mitchell under his points, rebounds, and assists at 39? I took Jared Allen under his points, rebounds, and assists too. I think Jared Allen's in a bad spot. We know Chet's a really good defender. Jared Allen I don't know. He don't really move the needle for me. Cleveland, we know if OKC is going to give up points, it's going to be to the 3-point shot. They typically don't give up a lot at the rim. So the Jared Allen under makes a lot of sense in my opinion. Donovan Mitchell, I don't know about as much. It's not that OKC don't got good defenders. Donovan Mitchell just going to be out there shooting it. Like the volume's probably going to be up without Darius Garland, in my opinion. I wouldn't take Donnie under. Not today. 77 figures, opposite of me too. Thunder -6 here. I disagree with JaXon. No Miami night life to bump OKC off their square. Okay. So yeah, some different opinions here. Double says, when you gonna get back this on Cal's show? Whenever Cal reach out. I just can't do the midnight shows. I can't do midnight, but yeah, I'll do Cal's show whenever he's doing a live show. Cleveland do go on runs. They do. And at the end of the game, as long as they lose by less than 6, I'm cool with it. All right. Do me a favor. Hit the like if you can. Subscribe to the channel. And let's keep pushing. Next game up. I did bet this one as well. The Mavs and the Knicks. So game we play at MSG today. Injury report is extensive on the specifically on the Dallas side of things. There's some couple injuries on the New York side of things as well. But PJ Washington is ruled out due to personal reasons. D'Angelo Russell is out. Kyrie, of course, is out. Daniel Gafford is out. Anthony Davis is out. Cooper Flagg is questionable. If Cooper Flagg comes into this game, that you will get a little bit of a better number with Dallas, of course. But the way that the line is moving kind of tells me that potentially he's not going to play. Or we look at the injury report for the Knicks and that Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart are going to play. They're both listed as questionable. And if they play, the Knicks will have a full squad here. So a couple things we look at and we kind of talk about. I've been kind of beating the drum with this one for a while now, is that the Dallas Mavericks on the road are just not a profitable team, not a team that you really want to bet on too much. And I actually want to show you guys. I want you to see this real quick. So I'm gonna jump off of here real quick, and I'm gonna just go to Give Me the Dog so you guys can see this. So this is what I looked at. So this is the Dallas Mavericks this season as a just on the road in general, not as a dog, not as a favorite. You can see that they win 21% of the time. They cover 27% of the time. 5-13-1 against the number. They lose by average of, you can see it right here, 6.8 points per game. But more what I want you to see is this ATS column right here. So this column right here, if you can see where my mouse is, these L's right here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10 straight games where they've lost and not covered the spread. The other thing you can do on Give Me the Dog is you can type in like A is away, but if you type in L, you can look at their road losses. So this is away and losses. So when the Mavs lose on the road, you can see that they 0-15 straight up. But they're 2-12-1 against the number. They cover 14% of the time. Their average margin of defeat is right at 10.1. You can see that right here. And the recent ones that they haven't covered are all right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 straight games where they had not covered when they've lost. And on the Knicks side of things, I just kind of think that it's a nice bounce back spot. The Knicks are coming off 3 straight losses. They didn't cover any of them. Last game was their first game back home against the Phoenix Suns. They were shorthanded in that game without Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson. It's so much to like, in my opinion, for the Knicks in this spot. I just think that I went ahead and played it early just because if you're a member and you're wondering Chris isn't really sending out that many plays because the injury report has just been so janky as of late. I can't get the best of the number. I typically just stay off the game or try to play it live. But I wanted to get in on this one. I'm not sure if if Cooper Flagg is gonna play or not. I think Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart are gonna play though. Like the way that the line's moving, it just kind of tells me I think that those guys are gonna play. The other thing I just wanted to mention really, really briefly, and I should have just kept the screen up, but the Knicks at home, when they win, and their home wins, they typically by 15 points. They're 15-2 against the number. If they win, they cover the spread most of the time at the crib. The other thing is Dallas, the reason why they don't cover on the road, their three-point shooting has been just so horrendous. That's typically where you want to attack the Knicks. Outside of Clay, maybe Brandon Williams a little bit. They don't have a lot of three-point shooters. So Dallas is, second worst three-point team as far as 3-point makes in the league. And in their last 2 games, the number is probably a little bit inflated because they just dropped 138 and 144 on the Utah Jazz in back-to-back games. So I like the Knicks in this spot. I think that they, shut this Dallas Mavericks offense down. That's going to be shorthanded, and they get whatever it is that they want. Should be able to dominate the glass in this spot as well without the, the Mavs having rebounders. And I think the Mavs are going to struggle to shoot the basketball. So Knicks, I got 10 is what I bet. I bet that this morning. Let's see. Dom says Knicks team total over. Brunson and Hart are in. LJ says, hey, Chris, another trend. Knicks are 11-4 ATS at home versus the West. Less 15. Yeah, I don't really look into all that. But I just think of 3 straight losses. So don't get it twisted. Like off trends are part of the equation, but sometimes you gotta throw them out the window, man. Sometimes you gotta throw them trends out the window. I think I also looked at from a trend perspective. I think I looked at teams that are laying double digits after 3 straight losses, and they are about 60% ATS as well since COVID, post-COVID season. Rick knows. He says Mavs are trash on the road. That's a fact. Knicks minus 9.5 is a go for me. I wish I saw 9.5. I didn't see that. Tommy says, I'm telling y'all, you only need one play in the NBA and you'll end the season profitable with about an 80% win rate. Centers versus the Celtics, taking opposing centers over their points, rebounds, and assists. And that's a fact. That should be a Duren look today, Tommy. That's a fact. It's an absolute fact. I like Duren today. Makes a lot of sense. Mavs team total under. Hart gonna lock the boys down. Yeah, let's see what the Mavs team total is today. 109.5 minus 104 on FanDuel right now, and I like that. I do think that they struggle to score the basketball. The problem is the Mavs have been playing fast. The Knicks don't play fast, but they are super efficient. So real quick. Just real quick. Let's see. Yeah, so Dallas is ninth in pace over their last 5 games. The Knicks are the slowest paced team in the NBA over their last 5 games. That bodes well for a Dallas team total under. And it's crazy because Dallas just dropped 138 and 144 against the Jazz, and they still got an offensive rating of 108.7, which is 25th in the NBA in their last 5 games. On the road, 109.1, which is the 3rd worst over the full season. And on the full season, they're the 2nd worst offensive rated team, probably behind only the Indiana Pacers on the full season. So, yeah, Dallas team total under makes a lot of sense as well. I didn't bet it, but yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Duren over his points, rebounds, and assists. Tommy says he put it in his pocket. I like it, Tommy. You're a smart guy. I like it. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. All right, let's keep going. Next game up next one I wanted to talk about is the Boston and Detroit game. And I kind of stole my thunder a little bit already. I kind of told you guys what I like here. All right, so I'm looking at the game, and I think the injury report is a little bit important. The Celtics will be without, they have Peyton Pritchard listed as questionable, and Detroit will be fully healthy. Boston last game before game road trip. They got back-to-back wins against Miami and against Atlanta. They smacked Atlanta in the last game as well. 7-3 to the under in the last 10 games. They've been playing really, really good defense. I think top 5 defensive rated team over the last 5 games. Then Detroit also playing really good defense. This is their 6th straight home game. Remember, they had 5 games off before they played against whoever they would land a ton of points to, and then they won that game, didn't cover it. It was against the Phoenix Suns on Friday, I think it was, or Thursday or something. And then they had a day off, and they absolutely beat the brakes off the shorthanded Indiana Pacers when they came in there, 4th game in 6 night spot with their 2nd unit. So 6 straight home game for them, back-to-back wins. Detroit is also 9-1 to the under in their last 10 games. I thought that was pretty interesting. Offense not playing super great, but they've been making up for it on the defensive end. This total, in my opinion, I don't know. It could be a tad bit too low, though. I think both of these teams should be able to get to this number. You got I would say I wouldn't say double revenge, because I think Boston won the first game. Detroit got their revenge. Then Boston won the third game. So Boston is up in the season series, 2-1. These have been really, really good games. Games where, like, I think I've watched all of them. Games where Jaylen Brown, like, because Detroit plays one-on-one defense, they don't really have a matchup for Jaylen Brown. He kind of get whatever it is that he wants, whenever it is that he wants to against this Detroit team. So immediately just kind of thinking about that, it makes me want to, play on Jaylen Brown rather than Jack. But immediately makes me want to think about playing the side of the total rather than playing. Stay away from the side of the total and just play on Jaylen Brown. The other thing I think about is Boston. They've been funneling everything to the rim and not giving up a lot of 3-point, not giving up a lot of. They've been giving up a lot of threes and kind of taking away the rim. So we'll see what Durant can do in this spot. But if Durant gets double teamed, could potentially be Durant's assist look. I think K's live in this game as well. I kind of want to, let's go back to Outlier really quickly. Let's just see if the theories make a lot of sense here. So back to Outlier. Jaylen Brown, I think important to start with him first. We look at his points specifically. 29.5 is the number. It's a super high number based on, a game total that's so low. But if we look at head-to-head matchups this season, we can see, just like I thought, 41, 33, and 34. He shot the ball pretty efficiently. Tons of volume in these games as well. If we go here and look at field goal attempts, 25, 32, and 25, 52%, 38%, and 48%. So, if he's going to get this kind of volume, which maybe he gets a little bit more without Peyton Pritchard potentially being there, I think you got to kind of look at Jaylen Brown points to go over to 29.5. And it's not that Detroit's a bad defense. They were a good defense in these games as well. It's just Jaylen Brown's going to get the volume. If he gets the volume, he should be good money. Let's see real quick. One more thing. Just his points overall. So he has slowed down just a tad bit. 25, 27, 27 against Miami, San Antonio, and Toronto. 41 against Atlanta. That game's back home though, because he is from Atlanta. The other one we just talked about was Durant. So we look at Durant, specifically his points. He was in a really good matchup in this last game against Indiana, but they blew him out, so he didn't have to play but 22 minutes in that game. So we look at Durant at 15.5 points. Again, the Celtics don't give up a ton at the rim. They've been giving up a lot more from the 3-point line, so Duncan Robinson makes a lot of sense. If we just look at his head-to-head matchup against them this season, he has struggled. You can see Durant is only over his points prop in one of these 3 games. We come down and look at field goals, not getting the most shot attempts up. The one that he got 12 shot attempts up, I think this might have been the first game of the season. He did finish with, how many points is this? 24, but just 10 and 6 shots. So, right, averaging about 8 shot attempts per game in these last 2. Not what you would like to see. Duncan Robinson might be in a really good spot in this game, though. Let me just look at Duncan Robinson real quick. Let's go Duncan, and then I'll take you guys through the rest of the games real quick. So Duncan Robinson is listed at, see what his 3-point is. 2.5 at plus money. What I absolutely love to see is that he's gone over in 4 straight games, and I know Boston is funneling shots to the 3-point line. So Duncan Robinson immediately makes a ton of sense. He's in really good form. We go head to head and see what he did in the last couple games. He struggled this season. So he played in all 3 matchups. Only went over in 1, 2, and 1. So 1, 2, and 3 threes. Minutes have been solid, 29, 29, 26. 3-point attempts, 7, 8, and 3. So if Duncan Robinson is going to shoot 7 threes, 7 or 8 threes, I'm taking him to hit 3. I'm definitely taking him to hit 3 if I know he's going to get that much value. If we just look at, last 10 recent games and we check volume, 7, 7, 6, and 7, 7, 7, 7, and 6, same thing. I like this line here for Duncan Robinson, for him to hit 3 threes. That makes a ton of sense. I kind of like that line for Duncan Robinson. Just kind of talk that one out. Duncan Robinson, 2.5 over his 2.5 threes at plus money is what I just saw. Let's see what the best number is. Yeah, at BetMGM, plus 100 right now for Duncan Robinson to hit 2 threes. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. Mid-range says terrible spot for Cater. Absolutely. Already locked in on his under points, rebounds, and assists. They don't really give up anything in the paint. Double says over a lock. Ain't no such thing as a lock, Double. You know that, right? I know you've been on my show long enough to know no such thing as a lock. A lock is what you put the key in. In the NBA, a lock? Iverson said, we talking about practice? We talking about a lock? All right, let's go through the rest of the games real quick, man. All right, so what didn't I talk about? The Clippers and the Wizards. So Kawhi is out. And strongest lean I got in this game, I didn't bet it yet. I could potentially get there. It's John Collins. I like John Collins over his points plus rebounds in this game. It's 19.5. He's over in 5 of his last 6. Washington's bottom 5, of course, in points allowed via spot up. They allowed the second most points in transition. They foul at the 5th highest rate as well. And those 3 combined areas is where John Collins gets 60% of his points. As far as rebounds go, the reason why I would tack it on is because his rebounds at 5.5, which is a bit of a high number for him. But without Kawhi there, somebody got to be able to grab those boards. Kawhi was averaging like 8 rebounds. So I think there's a few more rebounds to go around. John Collins, I think, is the best look on the board. I considered James Harden points, rebounds, and assists. I think the line was 43.5 as well. Ended up staying off of that just because I think the Clippers they're playing first leg of back-to-back. They got a game against the Bulls tomorrow in Chicago. Didn't really love that spot as much, but I do think the Clippers should win the game. I think they can cover the spread. The Wizards, 6 straight losses. The only game that they covered was that last game against the Denver Nuggets. First game back home off a 4-game road trip. They should come out super flat in this spot, in my opinion. So I like the Clippers. Didn't bet them. I like John Collins over his points and rebounds as well, but did not bet that one yet either. Let's see what you guys are thinking. Middleton points. He's been playing more minutes recently with the others out. PSSA says, I think it was 10.5. I looked in the Middleton points. The way that the Clippers are playing defense right now, I don't really want to take any overs for the Wizards. Their offense stinks right now. But it is a super low number. I'm not sure what the minutes will look like. And the Clippers are doing a really good job of running teams off the 3-point line too. Can Maxey go off against the Pacers? He can and be in that game. I'll wait because I'll get to that game. I got some thoughts on that game. Next one up that I didn't touch on was Utah San Antonio. Line opened 15.5 yesterday. I think this is up to 16.5 or 17 or something like that. This is a perfect game to stay away from, in my opinion. So 16.5 total is 240.5. It has come down, which is crazy because I actually wrote under in my notes. So marketing is out for the Utah side of things. And Isaiah Collier is also listed as questionable. And then on the San Antonio side of things, everybody is in. It's outside of Devin Vassell. Utah, of course, coming off back-to-back games where they just gave up 1 million points to the Dallas Mavericks. And it's crazy to think that their defense is so bad without marketing on the floor. Like, I was looking into this. I actually looked into it yesterday. The Jazz is 7-2 to the over and give up 135 points per game without marketing on the floor. In their last 4 games, so back-to-back games against the Mavs, they gave up 138 and 144. And before that, they gave up 128 to Chicago and 150 to the Bulls. So initially, I wrote in my notes, San Antonio should be able to get whatever it is that they want. Then a couple things came up. First of all, I saw San Antonio got a look-ahead spot. They play the Rockets tomorrow. That's a game I'm pretty sure they're going to be looking forward to and looking ahead to as well. In-state rivalry. Very meaningless game against Utah. However, the last time that these teams played, Utah did beat San Antonio. San Antonio played around with their food, ended up giving, I think, almost giving up 140 to this Utah Jazz team. So maybe they'll come out a little bit more locked in. They did get a big home win against Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves on Saturday. The other thing, that kind of led me towards a little bit more towards the under is that when the Spurs play games at home with a high total, their offense don't typically do that great. They're 4-0 to the under when they're playing at home with a total that's higher than 240. And they haven't reached more than 123 points when they play. They got 123 against the Kings, but their team total is like 129.5. You need them to get to 130 in this game. Stay away from me. I don't want the Jazz defense. I don't want San Antonio's offense right now either, even against the Jazz defense. Not when they got to go out there and score 130 points to hit their team total. Is my thought process. Next game, Pacers and the 76ers line. Was at 8 earlier. It's down to 6.5. I'm not sure if that's injury news coming in. Oh, Dyson Daniels is in. That's great. Joel Embiid and Paul George not seen participating in shoot around. So we'll see if they play. I kind of don't even want to talk about notes if that's the case. Like, who knows? Philly is playing first leg of back-to-back, right? So maybe they feel like they could win this game without one or two of those guys. They got the Phoenix Suns coming to town tomorrow. They are off back-to-back losses to the Cleveland Cavaliers. I wrote in my notes that if Joel Embiid played, I wanted his assist at 3.5. It was minus 128 on FanDuel earlier. I just look at the Pacers. They bleed points in the restricted area. Jay Huff, good luck to him. Like, they're gonna be sending a lot of doubles, in my opinion. I would be playing on Joel Embiid assists, not based off hit rate. None of the last 5 game stuff. None of that stuff. It's really, Philly. Cleveland didn't have to double them, right? They were playing them straight up with, Jared Allen. But now, the way Indy, bleeds points at the rim, it would have just been so easy to take Joel Embiid over his 27.5 points. And I was like, nah, that's not what I want to do. I would want to pivot to his assists in this game, thinking that they double him and then he passes out. But if he's not even present at shoot around, he's probably not going to play, in my opinion. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. That changes the trajectory of everything in this game. And I'll probably be looking a little bit more towards the under, which I do see the totals dropping from 228 down to 227.5, it looks like. Who knows who's going to play in that game. One of the reasons why I didn't mention it. Phoenix and Brooklyn. This is the game I was going to tell you guys about the trend of the day. So Jalen Green could potentially return for the first time and feels like forever. He's listed as questionable. Devin Booker also is listed as questionable. On the Brooklyn side of things, they're on the second leg of a back-to-back. Michael Porter Jr. missed the game yesterday with rest. We'll see if he returns. Zaire Williams also didn't play last night. And, you got a Phoenix team that is the best ATS team in the league. They're 15-7-1 against the spread in their road games, 8-2 against the spread in their last 10. This is their 4th straight road game of a 6-game road trip and the first leg of a back-to-back. I just mentioned they played Philly tomorrow in Philly. And the Brooklyn Nets, second leg of back-to-backs. Trend of the day, they're 0-7 against the number when they're playing the rest of the season. Average loss is about 16 points. The problem is that if Michael Porter Jr. gets rolled in, you'll get a better number. But I do think Phoenix continues to play really, really well on the road. They've covered all their road games except the one time I tried to bet them against Miami. They forgot how to play basketball. Since then, they've covered both games. Go figure, right? I think Phoenix can win this game. I think they can cover the number. The total has just continued to come down. I see it as low as 215.5 now. That kind of makes me think that, Devin Booker and potentially Jalen Green aren't going to play. I know Dallas, Brooklyn, both of these teams don't play super fast. I think Brooklyn is the 3rd slowest paced team. Phoenix also bottom half of the league, but I think they're like 17th in pace. What Brooklyn likes to do is shoot a ton of threes, and Phoenix is really good defensively against the 3-point shot. Brooklyn team total is a tad bit too low. I think it's like 104.5. I would love to get like 106, 107.5 for their team total under on the second leg of a back-to-back, but I think Phoenix can win the game and cover this number. So that's my thought process there. It's also 3rd and 4th for Brooklyn outside of Michael Porter Jr. And Brooklyn had won a couple games in a row. They don't want to win. So Phoenix should be able to win this game. I think they can cover the number as well. And then the only other game I think on the board was I went through all of them except the Miami and Golden State game. I didn't really look too deeply into that game. I do know that Tyler Hero will continue to be out. Miami's coming off a big win against the Oklahoma City Thunder the other day. They were getting double digits in that game. And Jaime Jaquez Jr. is listed as probable Davion Mitchell as well. And then on Golden State side of things, Draymond Green is probable, and Jimmy Butler ended up I think he missed the game for personal reasons or something he had going on in the last game. He is off the injury report as well. D'Anthony Milton is out. So Miami, first game on the West Coast, and Golden State comfortably been at the crib over their last few games. I think this is like the 6th straight home game. Miami did beat Golden State 110-96. The last time that they played, I think Golden State had rested everybody after the Orlando game in that spot early this season. The totals are actually 5-0 to the under in their last 5. Miami, first road game after 3 straight home games, first leg of back-to-back. They got the Kings tomorrow as well. And then Golden State, like I think I mentioned this, they played this is their 7th straight home game. They got one more. They played Toronto, first leg of back-to-back for them as well. I kind of agree with the spread coming down. Like, this was at 7.5, I think, or 7 when I saw it yesterday. The total was at 238.5, and then it was up to 239. Like, I kind of see points. Like, I think both of these teams will play fast. Golden State, I think, has been a little bit better guarding the three-point line than Miami has, but I know Golden State's won 3 straight. I know they've covered all 3 spreads. I just don't really want. I still don't really trust Golden State laying points with them at home. The Portland win was, without Denny Avdia, triple revenge in that spot. The Knicks win was without Jalen Brunson, without Josh Hart, and then the Charlotte win. I guess you can give him credit for that, but that was a really good matchup for him as well. I'm not buying what Golden State's selling right now, man. I don't want to do it. So I think I would lean with Miami plus the points in this game. Tyler Hero out. They've actually looked better as of late. Outside of the one win that they got against Phoenix, they looked better without Tyler Hero. I don't think Tyler Hero played in that game on Saturday when they played against the Oklahoma City Thunder and were able to come from behind and win that game either. Tyler Hero missed that game. So, I kind of lean. I would be taking the points with the Miami Heat. I agree with that. Let's see what you guys are thinking before we get off of here, and I'll do a quick recap. LJ says Golden State team total over 122.5 is the best bet. 11-4 to the team total over last 15 games, so he likes their offense. I don't know. I'm not gonna talk you off, LJ. I hope you cash in, my brother. I don't know. 123 points, a lot of points though. Miami defense ain't that bad. Miami defense ain't that bad. That's the first thing to come to my mind. Like, giving up 123 is a lot. Okay. Yeah. I hope you cash it, LJ. I do hope you cash it, my brother. What else y'all saying here? Pacers first quarter plus the 2 for Doms. Daniels is in. Did the spread move though? Let's see if the spread moved real quick. Dyson ain't moving no spreads, right? Nah, he not. It's still 2.5. Dom says, Chris, who you like tonight, Miami or IU? Neither. I'm not messing with that championship game. I don't pay too much attention to college football, if I'm being completely honest. I'll watch it, but like I ain't betting in none of it. Like, I'll look at it. Eager under his 12.5 points and assists. It's a tough matchup for him. He's been shooting the 3-point shot really well though. Like, I've been watching him play. He has been shooting the 3 well. Mid-range says, how you feel about the under on Flipakowski under at 13.5 points? He's been garbage without Lauri Markkanen and Kessler, and it looks like a bad matchup. Yeah, the thing you got to ask yourself, Bully, is like, it's a bad matchup, you're right, but like out there going against Wemby, like, is San Antonio going to be super locked in? It's a spot where I didn't, like, I'll give you guys some numbers real quick. So, like, I'm just thinking about this from a defensive perspective, right? So on one side, you got the Spurs who is like, so like, why would we want to fade San Antonio here? You want to fade San Antonio because they got the look ahead spot tomorrow because they're coming off a big win against the Timberwolves, right? Like, you could tell they got up for that game. They didn't cover the spread though. And then why would you want to back the Spurs? You would want to back them because they lost to the Jazz in the last game, because the Jazz are trash. But Flipakowski probably gonna get a bunch of minutes. So one thing I looked at was I want to share this with you guys. So I looked at, see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, here's what I looked at. I looked at, so game number after 10, right? So like not the first 10 games of the season, but I looked at good teams. I define good teams as teams that have a 55% win percentage or better. They're playing against an opponent that has a 40% win percentage or less. So, good team versus bad team after 10 games. They're playing the first leg of a back-to-back. Their next opponent actually is good. Their next opponent has a 55% win percentage, and they're laying more than 12.5 points. Those games are only 28, 46, and 1. So it says the Jazz, take the Jazz here. 37.8% of the time, these home favorites laying 12.5 points in that situational spot have covered. This season, 1-1, the totals are 2-0 to the over. And the reason why I say all that mid-range, because the way my mind works is like, I don't know how much of a defensive effort you're going to get from the Spurs here. I think they kind of save some of the defense tomorrow against Houston. Like they know that this Dallas team, they know Dallas just scored 138 and 144. And I don't like what I've seen from the Spurs, and when they're laying this big of a price. Matter of fact, let's just look at the Spurs when they're laying double digits this season so far. If they're laying more than 10, so if the Spurs are laying 10.5 or more, they're 1-3-1 against the spread. They're winning by average of 8 points. The only cover they got came against the Wizards when they beat them by 25, and they were laying 15.5. But they were laying 14.5 to the Jazz, lost the game outright. Didn't cover the number, didn't score the basketball, gave up 127 points. They were laying 15.5 to the Wizards, won the game by 11. And they let the Wizards go over their team total as well. So they just don't play as much defense, in my opinion. That's my thought process on Flipperkowski. Flipperkowski actually go out there and get busy against the Spurs team, man. I'm not messing with it. Call Me Air says, I got Miami flat out. Where and Bam about to have a field day. I can definitely see that. Adam, great call on Noah Clowney boys yesterday. 5.5. I wrote it down, put it on the short list. He finished with 8 yesterday, I think it was. That was a really good look. Dallas have any guards to guard Jalen Brunson? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I have not been following Jay Unraveled. Like I've been like, I follow the Twitter pages or whatever, and they'll send notifications to my phone. But like as far as like watching the games, nah. I did see that Jackie Young hit some game winners, hit a couple game winners or something. I haven't turned the games on though. Like I haven't even had them during set. I probably should go set them on the YouTube TV. This makes a lot of sense. Miami first half, get in and get out before Golden State turns it on in the third quarter like they typically do. Brian says Jazz first quarter probably -4. You mean +4? You probably can get a bigger number than that, honestly. With big as this spread is. I'm not betting on the Jazz. It's not an endorsement for the Jazz. It's more so a fade of the Spurs, though. I don't want the Jazz. I don't want the Jazz. Don't want the Jazz. If I had to play it, I'd be taking the points with the Jazz. I don't want the Jazz, though. Without marketing, they could lose by 5,000. They just lost to the Mavs. And the Mavs weren't even healthy. Like, it's actually historically bad how bad their defense is. I just can't bet the Spurs offense. Markel says, I'm on the Celtics money line. What up, my dude? What up, Markel? Hope all is well, bro. Mark says, catching up, played Atlanta money line. Knicks -9.5. We got some agreement there, Mark. I like Atlanta, didn't bet them. Like the Knicks, I did bet them. Miami +6.5. I do like it. College football, Indiana -7 and under 47.5. Okay. Best of luck, Mark. I hope you cash it, man. I think that's the perfect segue to my recap as well. Cleveland for me, I bet the Cavs +6. I bet the Knicks -10. Without knowing the injury report. Told you guys why I like Bobby Portis. That Bobby Portis line, I wrote 13.5 here, but it wasn't 13.5, right? Was it 13.5? I thought it was lower than that. Am I tripping? Yeah, I'm tripping. Don't bet Bobby Portis at 13.5 unless you like plus money. This is actually 11.5. And I'm probably going to get there with Bobby Portis. I think he can get 12 points in this matchup. -110 on BetMGM. It is a little bit juiced everywhere else. Everywhere else on the board, though. Let's see. Real quick, since we've been talking about other things, the Nickeil Alexander-Walker over his points, I think, makes a lot of sense. The Cleveland OKC game, just Cleveland for me. I do like the under, too, though. Clippers in Washington, the John Collins. I forgot to add that one. Over 19.5 points plus rebounds without Kawhi there. Dallas and New York didn't look at player props. Utah, San Antonio, ugly look, but probably Utah plus the points there. Thinking they get a backdoor cover. San Antonio ain't like that. Not against the suck teams. Indy and Philly. I like the Joel Embiid assist look, but he's probably not going to play. We'll see. Phoenix and Brooklyn. I think you wait to see if Michael Porter Jr. plays. Then you take Phoenix. Boston, Detroit. Jaylen Brown over his points, 29.5 makes too much sense. And I think I'm going to stay away from that side in total. And then, I'd be betting Miami plus the points. I think even first quarter could be a good look as well. Adam got Zubac Boys today, 12. That makes a ton of sense. He don't really got anybody down at the battle with Marvin Bagley and what's the other guy name? Sar. Yeah, I like that. B-Hop likes the Hawks minus the 2.5. I might get there with the Hawks too, man. I like the Hawks. Brandon asking about the Hawks. I kind of like the Hawks too. I kind of like the Hawks, man. OG Double says Kawhi Leonard out spread. Let's let go 6.5. Clippers been covering the last 5 games, but not so good on the road. What do you think? Wizards haven't been covering. Yeah, I think you just play the spread. Just because the Clippers have been playing so good as of late, and the Wizards, like, they haven't been covering a lot of spreads. So, yeah, I think you just play the Clippers on the spread. Like, it seems pretty easy. Sometimes it can be with the Wizards, though. Like, Wizards they really just that bad. So, yeah, I think the Clippers can win the game, even without Kawhi, and cover that number of 6.5 on the road. If you like the Wizards, you probably want to take them early. But honestly, in this spot, first game home off a 4-game road trip, I wouldn't even take them early. The Clippers have been good early in games as well. So I probably just play Clippers on the spread, but stay away from the first quarter, first half. That's the show for today, man. Resources all linked in the description. If you guys are interested, check them out. Outlier, Moneyball, JaXon, OddsJam. These are things that I personally use to handicap pretty much every single game that I play. And you can use them for all sports as well. Best of luck on whatever it is that you guys are betting, man. Happy MLK Day to everybody. Appreciate you all for tapping in as always. And that will be it for the show today. I'm not sure what happened to my last graphic here, but yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one, man. Best of luck on your action for today.